Beneath the modern success of sportswear, giant Adidas lies a complex and troubling past, rooted in a history tied to the Nazi Party and labor controversies. Founded in 1949, Adidas was the creation of Adolf Adi Dassler, following a business split with his brother, Rudolf. The Dasslers initially ran a shoe company together in Herzogenaurach, Germany, gaining early fame for crafting high-quality footwear. Yet their legacy was tainted by their involvement with the Nazi regime during World War II. The nature of the Dassler brothers' association with the Nazi Party has long sparked debate. While some argue that their affiliations were business-minded, aimed at securing lucrative contracts, others suggest that they actively supported the party. During the war, the brothers found opportunities to profit by designing military footwear, developing spiked boots for German soldiers to enhance traction on rough terrain. They quickly secured contracts, producing thousands of pairs for the army, turning their business into a wartime asset. This success, however, came at a moral cost. In addition to financial contributions to Nazi organizations, the Dasslers used forced labor in their factories, including Jewish prisoners and other detainees, exploiting these individuals to support both the regime and their company. Their designs even appeared on the feet of the Hitler Youth and athletes at the 1936 Berlin Olympics, a pivotal propaganda event for Nazi Germany. After the war, both brothers faced repercussions for their affiliations. Rudolf was detained briefly for suspected war crimes but was later released. Adi, however, was barred from managing Adidas and spent his later years separated from the business empire he helped build. Their legacy left a dark shadow over Adidas, one that the company has sought to distance itself from in the decades since. In more recent years, Adidas has also faced accusations of labor exploitation across its supply chains. The company, now valued at nearly $29 billion, sources much of its manufacturing from countries like Indonesia, Vietnam, and China, where it has been criticized for alleged sweatshop conditions. Investigations by organizations like the Clean Clothes Campaign have highlighted instances where workers, predominantly women, are subjected to grueling hours and extremely low pay. For example, in Indonesia, a hub for Adidas's manufacturing, some employees earn only about 86 euros, or $92, monthly, far below the legal minimum wage. The harsh conditions and low wages have sparked protests, calling for brands like Adidas to commit to fair wages and improve labor conditions. One particularly controversial incident occurred in 2012 when Adidas released a sneaker called the JS Roundhouse Mid, designed by Jeremy Scott. The shoe featured a shackle-like element that critics quickly condemned as insensitive, with many interpreting it as a reference to slavery. Reverend Jesse Jackson and other social activists voiced strong disapproval, arguing that the design trivialized a painful chapter of racial oppression. In response to public outrage, Adidas issued an apology and withdrew the shoe from production, acknowledging the design's unintended offense. Yet this wasn't the last time Adidas faced backlash over design choices. In 2018, as the Soccer World Cup approached in Russia, Adidas released retro-inspired apparel featuring the USSR's emblem, a controversial nod to the former Soviet Union. The move ignited criticism, especially from those who pointed to the USSR's history of human rights abuses and repression. Adidas's decision to feature Soviet-era symbols was met with public concern about the ethical implications of such nostalgia in sports fashion. Each of these controversies underscores Adidas's struggles with navigating its historical legacy while adapting to contemporary social and ethical expectations. Despite significant efforts to shift public perception, these aspects of its past, rooted in labor exploitation, political affiliations, and insensitive design choices, remain challenging to shake entirely. While Adidas continues to innovate and grow as a leading sportswear brand, it faces an ongoing responsibility to address these issues and to ensure that its business practices align with values of fairness, accountability, and cultural sensitivity. Adidas, a globally recognized sportswear giant, has not been without its share of controversies. Concerns have arisen over its product choices, environmental impact, and ethical practices, all of which have sparked criticism from consumers and activists alike. One of Adidas' most controversial moments came in 2018, when the brand released retro-inspired apparel featuring Soviet Union symbols. The launch provoked backlash, with critics questioning whether Adidas would ever consider releasing similar items featuring Nazi symbols. Adidas responded swiftly, removing the contentious products from its online store, amid calls for cultural sensitivity and ethical accountability. Animal rights activists have also called out Adidas for its use of animal-derived materials in its products, particularly kangaroo leather. In 2018, a PETA-led protest outside Adidas's flagship store in London drew attention to the brand's continued use of kangaroo leather. Protesters carried signs demanding, "Adidas, stop killing kangaroos," distributing leaflets urging customers to consider the ethical implications of their purchases. This demonstration was part of a broader campaign pushing major brands like Adidas and Nike to cease using animal products and to explore sustainable, cruelty-free alternatives. The company's environmental footprint has been another source of contention. In 2011, Adidas faced criticism for contributing to water pollution in China, where many of its manufacturing facilities are based. Reports highlighted waste from production processes contaminating nearby rivers, raising concerns about Adidas's environmental impact and sustainability efforts. Critics also pointed to the company's carbon emissions, stressing the need for Adidas to take a more proactive approach in reducing its contribution to climate change. Although Adidas has since taken steps to address these issues, the fashion industry as a whole faces increasing pressure to implement sustainable practices. Another significant scandal erupted in 2017, involving alleged bribery in college basketball. Adidas executives were accused of paying coaches to influence player recruitment, igniting discussions about corruption in college sports. This bribery scandal not only damaged Adidas's reputation, but also highlighted the ethical concerns surrounding high-stakes athletic sponsorships. Adidas has since taken steps to prevent such issues from recurring, but the incident underscored the need for transparency and ethical behavior in the sports industry. Adidas's selection of celebrity partnerships has also raised eyebrows, with some questioning the ethics behind associating with figures known for controversial or divisive actions. High-profile endorsements, including those with Lance Armstrong, who was later involved in a doping scandal, and Kanye West, whose public statements have frequently sparked debate, have led many to wonder if controversy is an intentional element of Adidas's marketing strategy. These controversies collectively bring attention to the importance of ethical production, corporate transparency, and social responsibility for brands. As more consumers seek brands aligned with their values, Adidas faces the challenge of ensuring that its practices reflect an ongoing commitment to ethical standards. In an increasingly conscientious market, these factors will likely play a critical role in shaping the future of Adidas and the global sportswear industry at large.